Welcome. Comic Corner, Agents of Fandom Network, Facebook Plays. I'm your host, Damon. What we do here is comic book news, reviews, interviews, all that jazz. Today I'm with my two buddies on a very big Thursday where we have trailer news, we have big comic reviews. Huge day. AF, good evening to you.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you guys are. Thank you, Damon. It's a lovely Thursday evening here in Cape Town. Just watched the Super Bowl trailer 3 times back, and I cannot wait to talk about comic books tonight as well.
Good stuff. TJ, good morning to you.
Good morning. It's great to be here. Great to see you, fellas. It's been a while.
Been a hot minute. Schedules just have not lined up. I made a bad decision last week on changing the day or changing the time to like our original time for the podcast. So like me and TJ can do it. And then next thing I know, the internet where I was awful. So it was all for nothing. So we had no show last week, even though we planned to have a show last week. We'll figure it out. Weird. But I know everyone's here. And what you're here for. You're here for Absolute Batman, right? Yeah, some of you are. But I know a lot of people are here for Truth, Justice, whatever. The Supergirl trailer just dropped. We watched it. I'm sure you watched it. We will talk about it. And we will also talk about the penultimate. The penultimatum of Ultimate Spider-Man came out yesterday as well. We'll talk about it. Second to last issue. Ugh. I can't believe this run is already ending. I can't believe the whole Ultimate Universe is ending, but let's just get to it. Hey guys, did you watch a Supergirl trailer that came out like 90 seconds ago?
I did, because we're doing a show about it.
All right. I know all three of us have read the comic, correct? TJ, I know you've read the comic. AF, I know you read the comic. I have read the comic. I am going to try not to talk about anything in that comic book of the mind where I'm telling people maybe don't read it before watching the movie because it includes something at the very beginning of that book that is kind of the catalyst for this movie. Yep. And they didn't really maybe not show it possibly in the trailer. Unless you look really hard and you hyperanalyze.
They hinted at it.
Hyperanalyze a very quick, brief moment. So, first of all, what'd y'all think of it? AF, I'll let you start first.
Dude, I'm psyched. That just psyched me up so much. It didn't give a lot away. It just made us all embrace the Carter that we were introduced to for like 5 seconds in the Superman movie. And I'm just so glad to see her finally get the spotlight. And Millie's just going to knock this one out of the park. That teaser was 10 out of 10. No notes. I loved every moment of it.
TJ, what'd you make of the trailer?
I gotta agree with AF. I loved it. I thought it was awesome. It's exciting. It looks, almost page for page from the comic nearly, and I love the comic, so that's all exciting. I think I don't know the actress's name, but whoever they got to play the little girl, I thought just the few little scenes we saw of her, again, knowing like the story from the book, I was like, oh, they nailed her for sure. And yeah, it's awesome. I thought Millie Alcock, right? If I'm getting it right, she was awesome in Return of the Dragon or House of Fire.
House of Fire.
Yes. Council of Fire, shameless plug. You can check out on Agents of Fandom. We went over every episode. But yeah, it was a major disservice to the show that those child actors did not show up in season 2. So I'm glad that she has this big role here, and I think she's going to kill it.
Yeah, I think so as well. Man, I don't want to say worried going into this movie because I just really like the book so much. And especially the middle parts of the book where it does turn into a straight up space adventure. And that's what this movie very obviously is hinting at. The theme at the beginning during the countdown was very like sci-fi adventure type of theme. It just led me to everything that I wanted in that. We also have a very special appearance right here. We have a very special appearance. I don't have a background for this, but we'll make it work.
Hi,
TJ.
everybody.
Editor-in-chief of Ages of Fandom. What's up?
I mean, I just watched that trailer and I was sitting on my bed watching you guys talk about it on YouTube, and then I realized, why don't I just go and hang out with my friends and talk a little bit about this trailer as well? So
Said,
figured
wait, this is
I
kind of
wanted
my
to pop
show
in.
too. So
I miss you
Yeah.
guys, and so I wanted to pop in and chat some Supergirl.
Yeah, I look, TJ. Before I get into anything else, what did you make of the trailer?
I really enjoyed it. I thought they kind of showed very. There's some. We all know there's a tragic backstory to Krypton, so that wasn't really a big reveal. We see the vibe
Wait,
that
what?
Kara's gonna. We see the vibe that Kara's gonna be in throughout this movie. I think the first shot of the trailer being Crypto is probably minus 500, and it was a smart thing to loop everybody in with the dog. But I really enjoyed the trailer. I thought they showed nothing, just the briefest little look at Lobo, which I'm sure we'll talk about, and but still really set the stage for like, this is gonna be a vibe. This is gonna be fun. This is gonna, this isn't directed by James Gunn. We finally are going to get our first taste of the DCU that's not a full-on James Gunn film, but it had a lot of Guardians vibes. Vibes with the music throughout this throughout the trailer, and the combination of looking at it, you kind of think, okay, we're going to laugh and we're going to cry. And that is sort of the James Gunn formula.
Yeah, I will say this about the book. This isn't a spoiler, and this is something that we have talked about in terms of like why Kara's in this position. She is a very tragic character. She saw Krypton go boom. She's from Argo City. We actually saw a little bit of seemingly of Argo City, just kind of like flying up away from Krypton as it goes boom. So we get to see a little bit of that. But she's a very depressed character. And a lot of that book has to deal with her trauma and everything about that. And one of the reasons, or one of the ways she deals with it, is by going on her birthday to other planets with red suns, to party, to drink a little bit. And with that usually comes the depletion of her powers because it's a red sun. We did see a little bit of her powers here. I will say we did see a little bit of it, but maybe it's one of those circumstances where she may not have many powers by the end of her leaving this red sun planet. I don't know, but I totally agree with TJ. There is some Guardians vibes. There is a little bit of just kind of that when you have a space adventure that this movie will be. And I really hope we get to see some of the Port Authority type of moments where there's a moment in the comic where she's literally like on a space bus plane, and it's just like the most this is type of moment where you're just like uncomfortable surrounded by all these crazy aliens and stuff. Really cool. The little girl's name, by the way, is Ruthie. She plays a very, 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 very important role in all of this. We also do know that the villain, Krem, will be in this movie. I don't know if we saw Krem at all.
I don't think so.
If we did, they changed his look. But Krem just looks like a dude, and he's a really, really, really bad dude. Another character that we know is in this movie that we did not see, Lobo. I thought maybe
we got a glimpse of him.
Did we?
Like a,
I was saying,
Oh, okay.
you guys said you saw Lobo. I didn't see Lobo or the other guy, so I don't know what trailer I watched.
That looked like Jason Momoa. So
I'll find the photo and I'll put it up.
Great.
Yeah,
I did not see. So I mean, it could be a blink and you miss it type of thing because my eyes are just going. I only watched it once, going a million miles a minute. So that would be nice if they do have Lobo in there. Lobo not in the book, but honestly, very easy to kind of throw him in when you have a space adventure like that.
I was gonna say, going along with Lobo and what you were saying about the book, I kind of had a reverse reaction. While I love the book and I think it's a great comic. Oh, there he is.
Oh yeah.
Just like a very brief 1 second, or you'll miss it. Not a clear shot by any means, but just kind of like the silhouette and then the clear, like small portion of his face, just enough for you to tell.
That's all you need. Look at that. I mean,
That's
absolute tragedy. This man was never originally cast as Lobo in the first place.
Exactly.
what, you didn't like Aquaman, dude?
He's fine.
But in regards to the book, though, in my personal opinion, and again, this is no diss to the book, but there's a lot of parts of the comic that are very dialogue heavy. I mean, that's a classic Tom King That's a classic Tom King move. So again, that's not a knock on the book, but I think the inclusion of Lobo, and it seems like the movies, like you were saying, Damon, leaning a lot more into the space adventure aspects of the book. I think that's a smart move for like the cinematic adventure of it all. So that makes me kind of more excited for the movie. And again, not saying it takes away from the book, but I think highlighting those elements will be really, really cool to see in this new DCU that, like you guys said, is very James Gunn heavy. Feels like a perfect avenue for him to go.
But also the fact that I think Tom King was included as the consultant in the shooting of this movie. So, I mean, the fact that he was there overseeing like quite a few things fills me with a lot of sort of optimism that they'll actually get this right.
AF and TJ, for both of you, Fat Thor, TJ, maybe a little Zwarch too. Kara in this sees the beauty and the hope in everyone, but I see the truth. How do you feel about this? I mean, I don't want to say like Supergirl's like a jaded character, but some iterations of Supergirl a little bit harder, a little bit harsher because of her entire backstory. How do you feel about that, AF?
I like it. I think it's a bit of a change from the normal Supergirl that we get and that we had in the CW universe, in that we had in that godforsaken Flash movie. So we actually get a bit of a different take.
Flash movie.
Agreed.
Sorry?
The only good part about that Flash movie.
The only good part of it, hands down. But yeah, I'm just glad that we get a different take on Supergirl, and one that is a bit more true to that source material in that graphic novel.
Camara says a very Guardians of the Galaxy like, even the dialogue. I think that just comes naturally with the space adventure. The book does kind of have a little bit of that vibe too, but it's supposed to. If we are remaining true to anything that story is, it starts out a little fun, a little sloppy, and then it goes very dire very, very quickly. And there's one particular, when I think about good comics and good things that I've read, I may not be able to remember the entire story from front to back, but I'll remember moments. And there is a moment in that book when Kara, who's in this entire miniseries about her just going planet to planet, trying to find Krem, bring him to justice. And she goes to a planet where Krem has already been. And you don't see the things that he did, but you know what he did, type of thing. And I need that. If there's one thing in that book, if I'm going to ask you and TJ both, if there's one thing in that book that you need, to me, it's that.
Yeah, and I'm quite curious to see if they're actually going to play that back. Like, obviously, we didn't see that in the book. We didn't read that in the book. So if they're going to take some creative differences from the book and actually just play that entire thing out, like what he actually did over there, I mean, that has the potential to be extremely brutal. So changes like that, I'm all for. I want to see things like that happen. Yeah. That's all.
TJ, what from the Tom King Bellin book would you like to see?
Oof. I mean, there's a lot of stuff. I don't know why, but there's one moment. I don't think this has any spoilers. I'll try to make it non-spoilery as I can, but there's one moment in the book that I really love and that I always remember, and it's just a very simple one of like Ruthie just talking about Kara and just like talking, and like we see glimpses of her just like fighting aliens and stuff, and it's just one specific panel where she's like, I don't know, flying through a monster, like just like destroyed this huge creepy thing. And that was the scene that I just always remember. And I remember that being the part that I really fell in love with the book. So I don't know if it's necessarily one in particular moment, but just something like that. I like something that kind of gives us that just in like you were talking about. That's kind of the book is really a deep dive into who Kara is, the trauma, all that. So yeah, just something along those lines. Because like I said, that's really what resonated with me from the book. But I mean, you know, her fighting with the swords, and there's a bunch of cool stuff.
Just let Carter go off the rails, guys. I just want to see it fully
exactly.
fully unleashed.
I just had it. The event you were talking about, I did just have it spoiled for me about 3 minutes ago. While we were live, shout out to our guy Jam who posted it, and I saw it. I still love you, Jam. I still love you, but now I think I'll probably just read the book because I did see what the event was.
Mhm.
But I guess Fat Thor kind of almost spoiled it, anyways. I could have insinuated it based on what he just put in the private chat. Alas.
Oh, I thought you knew. I thought you knew, Teach. My bad.
I did not know. But
You did not know.
it's okay, because I did actually know as
I
of
kept it
about
vague.
3 minutes prior. And so it wasn't you, it was Jam. It was his fault.
The
But
book is 3 years old. A lot of people haven't
Yeah.
read the book, and I've been very like, if you have read it, you know, you know. If you don't know, you don't know. I've been treating this like a Winter Soldier type of thing.
It's like saying you don't know it's Thanos snapped at the end, and like
It's like
sorry,
saying
it's
you know
like
about
10
the
years
Winter
ago.
Soldier to me. Like a lot of people did not know that. And
No, I don't. I mean, people don't read comics like us. I'm not gonna knock anybody for not knowing. That would be ridiculous.
But
TJ, before you go, thank you for popping on, by the way. But before you go, is there anything in this movie you really want to see? Whether it ties into Man of Tomorrow, whether it's a soundtrack, a song bite, a moment, what is it?
probably just in general, getting to see Kara's story. I'm a big fan of Supergirl. I'm a big fan of this character. And so this looks like it's going to be an adaptation that I haven't seen overly often with Supergirl, like not the story, but the vibe, the type of Supergirl we're getting, kind of like AF talked about with the Supergirl CW show. Like I really like that show. Like all of the superhero CW shows, it falls off drastically after the fact, after a few seasons. But early on, and like when they're doing their collab stuff, it's a lot of fun. And Melissa Benoist is really great in the role. And so I'm looking forward to seeing Millie Alcock's take on this character. The small bits I've seen so far look so much fun, so incredible. Like I said earlier, I know I'm going to laugh in this movie. I know I'm going to cry in this movie. And so overall, just her story, and then Lobo. We've kind of, everybody's since day one of Momoa's Aquaman, he got me invested in Aquaman, kind of made Aquaman cool in a way that Aquaman has never been cool before. Like Aquaman, kind of the butt of every joke.
Hey now,
From
hey
like a
man,
DC
come
superhero
on.
standpoint.
Not enough people read New 52 Aquaman, TJ.
That's always been the character that gets made fun of, right? Like that's always been the Justice Leaguer that nobody wants to be or play.
And the
as
Wonder
Aquaman.
Twins are literally right there, and everyone goes on Aquaman.
until Momoa, because Jason Momoa made Aquaman cool. And so I am looking forward to seeing his Lobo. We've all been kind of clamoring for it for a really long time. He's been clamoring for it for a really long time. He just perfectly looks the part. And so I'm looking forward to seeing him kind of finally get to live out his Lobo dream.
All right.
Agreed.
TJ, thank you so much for joining us for this. I would say you can stick with us if you want to talk about some books you haven't read, but you can hang with us and chat.
I'll hang with you guys in the YouTube chat, and we'll give a quick plug because tomorrow, speaking of our guy Jam, who I'm not mad at, I promise, I love you, my friend. We will be live tomorrow night, myself, Jam, and Brandon Moore, talking about the first 2 episodes of Percy Jackson and the Olympians. We'll be joined by the wonderful Arzu Amin for that one. We got some really great guests for Percy every week. We'll be talking Pluribus next week. We got Stranger Things coming up. We got Avatar, Fire and Ash. And maybe this is the place to announce, because I don't think I've said it publicly yet, but we got some crazy interviews coming. Maybe the biggest we've ever had before coming to the channel And in next week, we'll be talking to James Cameron for Avatar Fire and Ash at the Canadian red carpet for the
Holy
movie.
shit.
And so big things coming. So if you're tuning in for the first time, don't just hit the like button, which we want you to do. Please do that. But also subscribe, hit that notification bell, because we got a lot of fun stuff coming.
You can call that a Titanic-sized interview, TJ.
I see what you did there.
But
DJ, thanks so much for hanging with us. See you in the chat, bud. Yeah, man. Wow. What a fun trailer. What a fun time. What a fun everything. Any last thoughts, gentlemen?
I'm excited.
I just can't wait for it, dude.
Cool. All right. You know what I couldn't wait for this week?
Boom.
Let's talk some comics. Oh boy. This is Absolute Batman number, what is this? 15, written by Scott Snyder, artist Jock. Little that just worked out. Colors Frank Martin, letter Clayton Cowles, editor Sabrina Fuchs, Katie Cooper, and Chris Conroy. Now, I am not personally a fan of giving Joker a backstory. Personally, never have been a fan of it. But we are dealing with the Absolute Universe. We are dealing with Batman villains that are essentially like Dark Soul level villains. And you can see that right here on this cover. We do get a Joker backstory in this issue, an absolute Joker backstory, and it is absolutely wild. It is bonkers. AF, I'll let you start first. What did you make of this absolute Batman Joker backstory issue?
Dude, this was amazing. This was great. I think the storytelling in this issue was so good. Like Alfred trying to get the story across, and he's telling the story, but Bruce is asking a question, and he keeps on like sort of asking Alfred, why, tell me, and Alfred keeps on skipping over the huge details. And I just feel like the way Alfred told that story, everything just like made so much sense. The more I was like going to the next panel, I'm like, oh, okay. And I just feel like the writing in this book was phenomenal. I loved every bit of it, and just the way that it ended up. I can't say enough good things. I think this might be one of my favorite Absolute books. Not like runs, but like this issue.
Quick, everyone
is probably
spoil this
one
book
of
for
my
Jam
favorite.
before he leaves. I'm kidding. I'm joking.
Sorry, Jam. But yeah, this is probably one of my favorite Absolute issues that's been released. It was done with insane amount of care, and yeah, they respected every character in here fully.
There is one weird little continuity thing that I am just a stickler about. This isn't necessarily a spoiler because
Of
we go
course,
into
you're gonna
Joker.
nitpick, Damon.
Okay, in the end, I will say this doesn't matter because of how they fixed it in like 2 pages later. But we go
Okay.
through essentially like Joker's like family history, and we allegedly start with his great grandfather. But this Joker is Jack Grimm the Fifth. That would be his great grandfather. I just wanted to put it out there. TJ, what did you make of this?
No,
issue?
it was Jack
Why you
Grimm.
gotta ruin everything?
It was Jack Grimm Senior, then Jack Grimm Junior, then
They said it was
yeah,
Jack
it
Grimm the
did
Fifth,
end
and
up
they
with the
said
number
that would
5.
be
Yeah,
his great
that's
grandfather.
correct.
Be his great
Maybe
grandfather.
one of them was just named like Frank or something. They skipped.
They were not. They
And
were
then-
not.
But I'm saying there could have been they skipped one, and then they were like, "Oh yeah, let's go back to the Jack thing." But yeah, stop ruining things, Damon. I loved it. I thought it was great. I thought just got to echo everything AF said. Basically, it was super smart. I think it was very clever the way that Scott Snyder did this reveal and kind of went through this backstory. I wanna say something that I really liked about it, but I fear it's too spoilery. So
That's the only reason why I didn't get into things as well. I didn't want to spoil
it's not
anything.
like it just there is a Joker book. I'll say it this way, and if people read a lot of comics, hopefully they'll know what I'm talking about. But there was a Joker book a couple years ago that came out, and a lot of people really did not like it. They did some wild things with Joker and like his history that people absolutely hated. Now, I did not like this book, but I always thought that the idea behind it was interesting. And I thought that if the right person came in and explored that a little bit more, it could be something cool. And I think Scott Snyder kind of did that here, and he played with that idea, but in a way that I really liked. And again, just kind of goes back to, I thought that was super clever, taking something that has been kind of played with and using that for this alternate universe, but flipping it to make it its whole new thing in that fits in this world. And yeah, it was just, I mean, masterclass storytelling. It's so good.
I think it absolutely benefits, all pun intended, on it being its own universe. You
Yes,
then have
100%.
the ability to do whatever the hell you want, in my opinion, so long as it's still good. But you have that ability to have a insanely wild swing, and that is this Joker. You look at this Joker and you're like, what on earth is this actual demon? Right? We are taking a huge swing here. This is not your standard Joker by any means at all, but it still works in the context of the Absolute Universe. It works in the context of what Scott Snyder has been doing with Absolute Batman. We have seen some wild interpretations of a lot, even includes his friends in this universe. I think it's just so cool. I've been digging this. Absolute Batman did not start out in my top 2 favorite Absolute titles when it was first coming out. That first arc, I was like, yeah, it's fine. I love the issues that we go back and we explore the younger Bruce and his obsession with bats and his relationship with his dad, and we do all that, but we're back in the present. I'm like, we'll see. From the start of the second arc with the Abomination arc, that is absolute bane. We've just been running on rocket fuel. And this is so cool. This issue does end with us teeing off our crossover kind of little mini tie-in between Absolute Batman and Absolute Wonder Woman. Very excited for that. We get to see Bruce meet Absolute Diana, who's Absolute Wonder Woman, and it's so cool, and I love it. And that is still my favorite Absolute book. So I can't wait to see the two of them finally interact. The first real interaction of any of the main heroes between all the different books we have seen in this Absolute universe. AF, what would you rate this? Yep. TJ, what would you rate this? That was a 5 for our audio listeners.
I'd give it a 5 as well.
Yeah, I think I was like a 4.8. And I don't even know why I gave it a 5.
Well, and I was not hesitant going in this because the series has been so great, but I did feel going into this like there's a lot of weight on this issue because we've been talking, we've been teeing up this Joker for 15 issues now. So I felt like there was a lot riding on like fully introducing him, and knocked it out of the park. I think they did it perfectly.
And this Joker, I will give Scott Snyder's feel like the ultimate Absolute Batman villain. He really feels like this is like the final boss type of thing. We just kind of like finally fully introduced him. He's been playing with the puzzle pieces in the background. He's been that type of figure, the man who never laughs. And is the richest man in the world. And there's a last page reveal that's like, I see what we're doing here. I like this. This is just a neat little twist. Not completely unsurprising, but a neat little twist. So very, very cool. Fantastic issue. Hats off, figuratively and literally, to this entire creative team. Been knocking it out of the park. From DC to Marvel. What had been one of our favorite Marvel books, coming to a close very, very soon. This is Ultimate Spider-Man, number 23, written by Jonathan Hickman, artist Marco Cicchetto and David Messina, colorist Matt Wilson, and letterer Corey Pettit. TJ, had you have the opportunity to read this issue? You did fantastically and talk about it. What has been going on in this book, and I've still been really enjoying it, but it has now officially, for like the last 4 or 5 issues, been weighted on the fact that we know the end is coming. And I once again ask now for like the third month in a row to TJ, if you did not know this next issue was the last issue, I think we would both be like, amazing issue. I can't wait to see where this is going. But their last page in this is so hilariously ironic because the last page is a full page splash of Spider-Man getting up, getting ready to fight. He's like, I'm just getting started. And I'm like, well, ain't that a funny little line? Because next issue is the last one.
Yeah.
And there's going to be that in the back of my mind. And I still think that is frustrating. But I cannot fully judge it based on an ending. I'm judging it based on just this issue. And I think this issue is fantastic. I love having Chichetto here on the art, Messina also credited here on the art as well. But I love it so much. I love this world. What they've been doing with Uncle Ben here has been so cool. What they've been doing, J. Jonah Jameson, is so cool. Doc Ock literally being superior Spider-Man and all the hints and little phrases, you should be better type of thing is getting thrown around a lot, and it's really cool. I like Peter's kid. I think he's literally like what Peter used to be kind of in Hour Before Times in the main 616. He's a teenager. He's making mistakes. He's not fully thinking with his head, and he's still very quippy, even though he is Venom, or he has like the not symbiote robot suit. Very cool. TJ, what did you make of this issue? First, I will try to say, without you knowing this is the penultimate issue, how would you rate this?
See, I'm having a hard time here.
Yeah,
I really am. Huh?
And I understand that because it is hard, because I love this issue, but it's like, damn, next one's the last one. And I feel like we have so much I want to get to.
Yeah, and it's like I really am trying to not think of like the whole end game aspect of everything. And I mean, maybe you or someone in the comments will like help me understand my feelings, because I genuinely, like I said, I don't know how to feel, because I didn't not like this issue. I liked this issue. Like you said, I love this Spider-Man. I love the world we've set up. The first like 15, 20 issues were just amazing. But I don't know, there's something in me that these last like 5 issues or so, and like you said, maybe it's my subconscious like knowing the end game thing, but I just feel like we're just at a simmer. You know, like we're not at that boil. Like each issue, I feel like towards the end, like, oh, we're gonna get there. But then it just kind of leaves us off to tune in next month, you know, and I don't know. It's like I don't not like it, but I just find myself sometimes feeling a little frustrated. I just feel like we're getting all this build up. And again, I feel like every issue I'm like, and we get glimpses of it in here. That's why I say I like the issue. I mean, we get Spider-Man fighting Kingpin. We get what's his face, the demon dude showing up.
Mr. Negative.
Yeah, Mr. Negative. But again, I don't know. Like maybe again, please someone help me maybe like understand it better. But I just like what really happened. Like nothing. I just feel like nothing really substantial has happened. No, we haven't really learned anything. Like we know what's coming, and we're kind of circling the drain until we get there. And that doesn't mean the story isn't good. I just am not getting what I feel like I'm wanting out of it, if that makes sense.
I think for me, when it comes to Ultimate Spider-Man and the Ultimate Universe, Ultimate Spider-Man was the first Ultimate book. We thought this was going to be like everything from the Ultimate Universe is coming from this. It is absolutely not, as we know. That is the Ultimates. Dennis Camp has been like fully creating the rest, like the entire Ultimate Universe outside of the 5 boroughs in New York City. Because this Ultimate Spider-Man, and I think this is what you may be feeling, is so, I don't want to say grounded. Everyone says grounded. It's so small scale compared to everything we've been seeing going on in every other Ultimate book, which is just like huge world-ending type of stuff. And that's not what's been going on in Ultimate Spider-Man. I think that's what I've been enjoying about it. Remember, the first issue started with Kingpin buying out the Bugle and Uncle Ben and J. Jonah like leaving the Bugle to essentially just get revenge. That has kind of been the catalyst behind Ultimate Spider-Man, and then also Peter's family stuff. So I think maybe there's a part of it where it's like, whoa, it's not going to lead directly into the maker. It's not supposed to.
Yeah, and
It's
I
supposed to be
agree.
a much smaller story.
Yeah, and I like that about it. I mean, we got Kingpin, we got Captain Britain, who shows up for the first
The Captain
time.
Britain stuff I could do without.
I could do without too, but I'm just for an example. We have Captain Britain, we have Mr. Negative, we have Mole Man, who's like just kind of chilling out. Like we have all these pieces, and I feel like I'm waiting for the pieces to come together for the big like and I just feel like we keep like getting closer to it, but we're not getting there. And maybe I'm just being too impatient. I'm being, as Treebeard would say, a little too hasty, but I don't know. I've been leaving the last couple issues feeling a little bit underwhelmed. And again, not to say that I don't like them, but just a little, like I said, and that's why I say maybe someone can help me out because I genuinely don't know why. I don't know why I feel like that.
My only thing, because I somewhat agree with you. Like, I understand where you're coming from. I agree with you on some things, and I think it's this. And I have to go back to the Nightwing run from Tom Taylor, which I love. I officially say it's my second favorite comic run, and it's because we kind of veered off from the main story for like so many arcs that we finally got to the last arc. We had so many things we had to just like put back in place, like run here, and the last 3 issues are like beyond a sprint. You're in the motorcycle, right? And you're just flying to get there. And I think when we look back on the last few issues of this, like the last 6, 3 of those last 6 is just like, oh, this happened. We introduce here, and we go here, and we go here. That it's like now in this penultimate issue, we do have a big clash and pieces are getting together, but like, oh man, I wish I had like 2-3 more issues after this.
Yeah.
To like, it's one of those where I wish we had a little bit more runway in the end. And you could say that for almost any comic. I think one of the few comics I think it does it well in, and I go back to like Kelly Thompson's Captain Marvel's, because it had like 50 issues, right? So you're able to like take the last 2 after 50 issues to be like, let's wrap it up type of thing, right? This is 24. This is technically less than half of that. And now we have all the stuff that we introduced that we never went back to. Sandman stuff, right? Like Craven, all this stuff, right? Like we have all the stuff that we just kind of like threw in for an issue. It's like, oh, that was a cool issue, but it never like paid any dividends in the end. And we'll see. My ideal would be, this is like my ideal situation with the final issue is that it's like a supersized issue. I'm fairly certain that's not going to happen. I'm looked at the solicit, didn't say anything about it, so I'm not expecting it. But I do really enjoy this book, and I think the last issue is going to be good, but we also have to remember there's more Spider-Man after this.
You don't sound convinced.
TJ, your mic is also
TJ.
off. But
All right.
I
was just going to say, as we're talking through it, I feel like another aspect of this for me, and this is a personal thing, is the time gap, the 1 month release. 1 month releases sometimes are tough for me just because we read so many comics. So I feel like maybe because it's a month wait, when I get the issue, I'm expecting more, if that makes sense, which could be leading to my feeling of disappointment.
Maybe. I think it all depends on this last issue and what Hickman was really going for, like how he wants this to actually end. What is the end goal here? What is the end game of Ultimate Spider-Man, right? And if it just kind of comes back to revealing who the big bad guy is in the end to the people, and that's Kingpin, then cool. Then I think he succeeded in that. But maybe you just wanted something a little bit more than that.
Yeah, I don't know. I got to ponder. I'll ponder on it some more. And then next week we can, or I guess next month, we can reconvene on it.
We have to yacht about a lot about it. What would you rate it?
3.8.
Okay.
4. I'll give 4.
I'm a 4 on this one. I really liked it. Last Ultimate book of the week that we will be talking about is Ultimate Wolverine. TJ, did you have the chance to read this? You did.
I
This
did.
is the conclusion of the second arc. Do not forget, people, this story was supposed to end at 12 issues. I have seen a lot of people criticize this issue because of that. This, I guarantee you, is not supposed to be the original ending of the story. I get like this feels like this was supposed to be like maybe an in-between spot before it was continued. So I'm not going to judge it because of that either. However, this issue's so cool. And I've seen a lot of
I thought it
critiques
was
about it.
gas, dude.
I thought it was so cool. Alessandro Capuccio's art is so good in this. This felt very classic Wolverine. We are beyond the Winter Soldier stuff, but the Winter Soldier stuff does come back. It plays like a revenge part at the end of this arc because this last issue, all of Wolvie's friends are dead. They all died, and he's the Lone Ranger left. So he goes and tries to find the voice that's been talking to him in his head when he was under the Winter Soldier spell. And that is, of course, the Phoenix Project, who is Jean Grey, who's just kind of like floating there and all that stuff. Captive goes, kind of rescues her. She hasn't spoken yet, and maybe she won't be able to speak and can only talk to people through thoughts. I think that would be a cool move here. But there is one leader left of the Eurasian Republic by the end of this, because Phoenix Jean Grey went full Phoenix Jean Grey and handled the big, strong Mega Man very easily. Very, very, very cool. I like I said, I thought this issue was gas. It was cool. I'm just like, oh yeah. Oh, also, I am so sorry, Cyclops fans. I understand how you may feel like your boy's been getting gypped in this Ultimate Universe. Maybe you have an argument here with a certain page, but I'm not a Cyclops fan, so I laughed. DJ, you Mike, good sir.
Dude, I literally checked it before I started talking, and jeez. Yeah, it was gas, man. I loved this issue, and I will say too, I'm a couple issues behind, but I said screw it. I'm gonna just check it out anyway. And so I didn't know that the opposition, right? I didn't know that they all got smoked.
Gone. They
Yeah,
mentioned
but
it in this issue.
Yeah, so I read it in the beginning thing, which shout out Chris Condon making that intro very precise, because that's all I needed to jump in. But yeah, it was awesome, man. And I think it's kind of funny, not funny, but you can kind of see where my interests lie, because I was saying a couple issues ago when he got with the opposition, I'm like, yeah, like I still like the book, but I really liked the Winter Soldier thing. And now that he's like all kind of buddy with everyone, like it's still good. And now that they're all dead and he's back by himself, this was my favorite issue. So I'm a fan of the lone wolf Wolverine for sure. Like that's the vibe that I like most. So yeah, this was one of my favorites that I've read since probably that first arc. And I mean, I am going to go back and read those other issues for sure. But yeah, great way to set us up for the end game. I think it was a good way to do it without like being too overt, like, don't forget the Maker's coming. Don't forget it was natural, but you see where that's going to play a big role in where we're going. So yeah, I give this one a 5 for me. It was fun, exciting. Man, I love the badass, just, Wolverine messing people up. That's what this issue gave me. 2 thumbs.
This was a 4.5 out of 5 for me. I highly, highly, highly enjoyed it. TJ, sticking with you.
5.
Okay, move on.
5 out of 5, baby.
Big scary monster book, Infernal Hulk
Yes.
number 2, Philip Kennedy Johnson, artist Kev Walker, Nick Klein, colorist Matt Wilson, letterer Corey Pettit, who just did all the letters on Marvel this week apparently, and editors Caden McGahee, Austin Hatch, Martin Bureau, and Jordan D. White. Catch the good people up on what's been going on in this book and why is it a 5 out of 5?
Oh man, I where do I start? Hulk, monster, big, scary monster. He is back to being a monster. We have the oldest monster in the entire Marvel universe, the mother of horrors, who is after Hulk in order to escape from the prison that she was put in. But shocker, Mother of Horrors is dead, and her oldest creation, who is called Eldest, is now running the show, and she has captured Hulk. Banner is gone, and she now possesses Hulk. So I said he's a monster. I mean, he's a monster, bad guy, evil, like not hero. He's gonna save the kid out of the tree. No, she, I guess, because it's Eldest now, going around and just waking up all the other gross, scary things. You can see one of them on the cover here. We get a little cameo from Namor because that's where this creepy, slimy, nasty monster lives. And oh my god, it's just so cool. It is just so cool. Like you said, monsters fighting monsters. The amount of world building that Phil Kennedy Johnson is subtly doing with all of these monsters, and like how just creatures in general work in the Marvel universe is just mind-blowing. And I got to shout out to Nick Klein, one of the best artists in the game right now. I mean, it's just, you could take each page and I want to put it on my wall as a freaking painting. It's so good. And we get a nice, really great stinger tease at the end to get us, keep us coming back for issue 3. But yeah, it's 5 out of 5. I don't think that there's been an issue of Infernal or the previous regular Hulk run that Kennedy Johnson did that has not been a 5 out of 5. At least, I mean, like no less than a 4. I mean, the book is so good.
All right. Big 5 out of 5. Big thumbs up for the big scary monster. Go check it out. AF. Knightfight numero dos. Written by Joshua Williamson, artist Dan Mora, colorist Triana Farrell, letterer Tom Napolitano, and editors James Reed and Rob Levin. For the good people. I know DCKO has been going on. We are now 2 issues in. TJ and I, you weren't here for this. I half jokingly, half seriously called what DCKO has been DC Fortnite. Because it's just big fight, mythological stuff everywhere. You pick it up, you get the power, and try to be the last one winning. That's Fortnite, baby. And shocker, Batman was not in this because he died in the pre-KO round, and now he's been doing Knightfight. So, what is Knightfight, and why have I been hearing good things about it?
That's really good. So, did Batman die? Knightfight number 1 showed that Batman tried to cheat. So, he had this apocalyptic armor, and he fused it with the mother box. And he programmed it so that when he does die or somebody kills him, he sort of transports somewhere else, and then he can come back to the heart of to Apocalypse and reinsert himself into the bracket. Heart of Apocalypse is way too clever for that, so they transported him to his own sort of traumatic universe. And in the first issue, he met, who do you see on the cover over there? That is Dick Grayson, Batman. So in a world where Dick Grayson became Batman, all the Robins are dead. He's the only guy left standing, and he takes all of the kids in Gotham City and he trains them to be Robins. And that becomes his army. And in this issue, Batman basically finds out that this isn't real. This is probably the Heart of Apocalypse playing with his mind, because none of these things can be real. At one point, he holds Dick in a chokehold, and he's like, "That's not Dick Grayson's heartbeat." So he's like, "Okay, nope, I know the heartbeat. That's not Dick Grayson." And then another thing, and let me just get this line right here: "You let your Robins fight for you. Dick would never do that. He knows I always fought alongside my Robins. I trained you and your brothers and sisters, and I bet my Robins from my Earth and my universe can kick your Robins' asses." So that was just Batman being like, "Nope, this is all fake. Heart of Apocalypse. I know what you're doing." And it comes to a point where he's holding back his punches against Dick Grayson's Batman because he doesn't want to hurt him, even though he knows it's not real, but he doesn't want to hurt him. And then he comes to the realization of what he told Clark in DCKO. and that was the Art of Apocalypse doesn't want you to hold back, so don't hold back. And as he's about to just like pull the trigger on Dick Grayson, he is just like jolted with this like jolt of electricity and transported to another place. And in this universe, Jason Todd is Batman, and he's the only person left in Gotham City. And that's because they had to evacuate the entire city because Joker, like, he let his gas just go running wild in the streets, and they managed to evacuate the whole city. But that just means that the entire Gotham City is Arkham Asylum now. And Jason thinks that this Batman is Clayface. Who knows why they didn't explain that, but the Art of Apocalypse wants him to embrace becoming Clayface. So he does that because he's trying to get out of this universe. He's trying to get out of this entire traumatic experience. And yeah, I think that everything was well written. It's really, really highly reviewed. The writing was good. The art was fantastic from Dan Moore. But I think the kudos goes to the colorist, Triona Farrell. The transitions of colors with every realization that Batman has in here. 10 out of 10, no notes. It was so, so good. I advise you guys to like pick this one up. It's only 4 issues. It's a really cool time to be reading while you're waiting for the other DCKO stuff to come out. And yeah, it's a really, really good sort of adventure that Batman goes on.
I'm surprised that the Heart of Apocalypse didn't put him in a world where it's just constantly raining pearls. I've been
That would be
waiting on that
hilarious.
joke for like last 5 minutes. That deserves a laugh. And I'm kidding.
Just wakes up in a clamshell.
Or a universe that has Martha playing over and over on a speaker.
I think that's just the Zack Snyder universe.
Golly. F, how would you rate this issue?
I'm giving this one a 4.2 out of 5.
4.2. I like how AF's been doing like the 0.2 methods right now.
Yeah, very precise.
You are my inspiration, Damon. You are the one that introduced me to the decimals about a year and a half ago.
There was no decimals prior to a year and a half ago.
Yeah. Damon invented decimals.
It was never in my thinking of rating it. It was always just a 7 out of 10, a 5 out of 10.
Damon
comes like 2.67. I'm like, okay, I didn't know we can do that. Let's do that then.
Oh my goodness. On to our boom book of the week. It's been a hot minute since I've talked about a boom book, but this is one that I really, really, really love. I really wanted to talk about last week about something is making the children, but here we are. This is Minor Arcana issue 12, kind of the end of an arc a little bit, just a little bit. But oh man, this is written and drawn by Jeff Lemire, colors Patricio Del Peche. I just been loving this book. We finally get to a point with Teresa, who, for those who do not know, this is a woman whose mother is a psychic, but kind of like a fake psychic. And Teresa just kind of like went home to go check in on her mom, and also was having like a really bad life, so had to go back home. And turns out she's an actual psychic when you deal with tarot cards and all that jazz. And now she's trying to figure out a mystery around town. Very cool stuff. Also trying to find like a missing brother. And I just truly love and enjoy that this is Jeff Lemire's ode to Vertigo Comics. This is his different, cool approach to like tarot cards and all that stuff. There's a really neat mystery unfolding. I am still trying to like figure out issue by issue. Teresa's able to kind of like pull some tarot cards, and in return, she's able to go into like the psyches of people and try to find them like lost in the netherworld. It could be people who have already passed. It could be people who are just kind of like lost amongst themselves. They're in a dark alley, but they're lost type of thing, and able to find them. She is a complicated character, not one, as TJ remembers, one that you like very early on. She is a little cold-hearted, but we are now 12 issues in. She's embraced this role that she has been kind of gifted or cursed in a way, and is starting to turn a corner into actually trying to help people. And when you're 12 issues into this, you finally get to that point. I really enjoy this. This is one of my favorite issues. I don't want to get too much into spoilers because I want people to read it. But if you like that idea of like tarot cards, maybe a little Constantine-esque, if you like Hellblazer, this is just kind of like right up your alley. I think it's super cool. 4.5 out of 5 for me.
Yeah, I need to catch up on this one.
Yeah, I need to give you some of the back issues. I can't remember where you left off. There's still one issue that is still my favorite, and I love those kind of like one-off issues that feel like an episode of TV that's like a side quest. But it was back when Teresa was starting to embrace that role of like the town psychic, and people were coming to her, and there's a young kid who's severely struggling with like self-identity, and Teresa is really able to help them through it. And that's just like one singular issue, and that still remains my favorite single issue throughout this run. But this one's very cool too. Yeah, this one's very cool too. I do enjoy it. 4.5 out of 5 issue for me, and my honest opinion. So go check it out. Last one, we're going back in time. Speed racing, time traveling shenanigans. This is the final issue of this volume of Speed Racer because we need our weekly dose of Pepos.
I like that.
Day Tinto, Colors, Rex Locus, and Letter Buddy Bowden. TJ, before we get into the actual story, give me a monkey meter.
Ooh, monkey meter's low this week. I'm afraid it's like maybe a 2. I'll give it a 2 because he does show up, but yeah, very low on the monkey meter, unfortunately, but very high on the fun meter because this issue was great. I mean, this, like you mentioned very briefly, this actually came out last week, but obviously we didn't have a show last week, so I wanted to talk about it this week. But super fun issue. Literally, the entire thing is a race. It's just like if anybody out there has ever seen that movie Death Race, it's kind of like that. Like the cars have like saws and like crazy stuff on it, and it's just fun adventure the entire way through. Damon, you would really like it. There's there's a little trick in here that I thought was clever. And like when the car, like I said, cars have all these like gadgets and stuff. So when it does something like the saws, he puts like a little tag on it that says hydraulic, whatever. And it reminded me of the Hawkeye tabs on his arrows.
It's a very Matt Fraction move.
Yeah, exactly. Very Fraction style. And I thought that was fun and just added to the excitement because you could see what was going on. But yeah, super fun. We wrap up our kind of first arc with Speed Racer's dad, who's been in the hospital. He wakes up. We win the big race, but we get a big cliffhanger at the end with Speed Racer's supposedly dead brother. There's more to that story, it seems like. So yeah, it's just great issue, start to finish, super fun. Leaves us off with a really great tease to make us want more. And I don't know. I haven't looked in. I don't think this is the last issue. But now that you said that, now I'm questioning it. So I'll have to look into that. But I feel like with the ending like that, there's no way this is the last issue. And I hope not, because again, I've said it plenty of times, propose majors and fun and adventure. And this has it in spades. So yeah, if you're looking for something that's just really fun, easy read, I cannot recommend Speed Racer enough. It's awesome.
Don't quote me on this, but when I was grabbing this cover and all the info for it, I believe I maybe saw kind of like a rehashing back to a #1 of a Speed Racer for next year. It could have been a different title, but we may be like continuing it under a different
I know that there are at least one or I think a couple like not tie-in, but like in the Speed Racer universe, there are other titles. So maybe that I don't know though. Maybe we'll have to have David come on and explain it for us.
Maybe wouldn't be the first time. All right, next week's polls. I have a fairly light week next week. Absolute Fashion number 10, which I've been really enjoying these last 3-4 issues of Absolute Flash. I have been saying it's been cooking with gas. It really has been, because it started out a little slow, and I think you would agree with that. It had a fairly slow start, but once when you kind of get to like that Barry Allen issue where it's like, we're going to really explain what's going on here, it's like, oh yeah, we are cruising. It is no spoilers, but you do get a Barry Allen issue. And that's kind of the turning point for me with this series. And
Yeah.
it's so good. It's so cool. And I've
That
been
was 8, right?
really digging it. And also, Baby Monkey Grodd, 10 out of 10. Give me a
Yeah.
little Baby Monkey and Baby Monkey Grodd too. Love it. Nightwing 133. So much I've been loving this Dan Waters run. It is a lot different than Tom Taylor's, which is very light. This is not light. This last issue of 132 that came out a month ago, holy cow, holy grim, but so good. Very cool. On the Black Label spectrum, for those who don't know, Black Label is just kind of like a Elseworld type of story. Superman, the Kryptonite Spectrum. We're telling the story of what all of a sudden all these different colors of kryptonite came crashing down to Earth, and Superman's quite literally testing them on himself to see what they do. We have some really wild things going on in that book, and this is the last issue of that. But sadly, I believe this is it. The last issue, I've been told, of Zdarsky Comic News. And 18, very sad, but go pick it up, everyone, because they're free and they're fun, and you get some really entertaining interviews with a lot of your favorite writers and artists throughout the industry, a lot of which are his friends, and they just straight up make fun of each other the entire interview, and it is great. I do love it. AF, what you got next week?
Yeah, I got Absolute Flash number 10, Black Cat number 5, and I'm really into all of these TCKO tie-ins. So Harley Quinn versus Tanya is dropping next week as well. I did the Superman versus Captain Adam issue from last week as well, so I know who wins that fight. Like, you guys can probably figure that one out as well. But yeah, it's
Harley
a
Quinn.
fun one shots.
TJ, what you got?
Well, so I have Absolute Flash as well, which I was really upset with. I picked up book. That was the first one I wanted to catch up on because it was right after you were raving about the last issue.
Mhm.
And I had the issue that I like, the one I left off on, and then I missed one. I think it was issue 8. So I have 9. I have like 7, 9, and then 10. I will
Go
have
back
10.
and get it.
Yeah, so I didn't catch up, unfortunately. But I also have Mortal Thor number 5, one of my faves, and Rogue Storm number 3, another one of my favorites. So it's gonna be a good week next week. Yeah, I don't know why I almost said next month.
It's almost next month.
It's
We're getting
almost
there.
next year. It's almost next year.
Crazy.
I won't be on next week, but can I just say that the end of this month will be the final issue of Green Arrow in this run that's been happening, and I'm so sad. I've been loving this run, and it's been the first Green Arrow run that we've had in a long while. So seeing it come to an end now, and we don't know when the next one is going to restart again. So yeah, just like shout out to the entire creative team that was responsible for all of it since the dawn of DC, and then transitioning over into All In as well.
I'm still kicking myself over. I mean, I did not love that first arc. I actually straight up skipped it, and I came back after it because it dealt with time travel shenanigans, and I was just not feeling it. But since then, from like you said, the dawn of DC leading up to Absolute Power, and even when he had a changing of hands, and we had that really awesome, I don't know if it was called a Clearwater arc or Freshwater. Oh, so good. Like that arc will go down as one of the best arcs for Green Arrow, in my opinion. I think it is that good. So go check it out. It's very Arrow family. If you don't know about the Arrow family, I think that's fine too to even start there, because they have a nice introduction of everyone in that wild, very large group.
It's huge. It is huge.
I'm like, damn. Oh, there's more type of thing. So it is very good. Bummed that it's ending, obviously, but I have been reading it on the back pages on the DC Infinite app, so I can unfortunately say I'm probably a part of that. Matt Aguilar, shout out Matt, thanks for watching, bud. You're always here, and I really appreciate that. G.I. Joe 16, gonna be fun, and really digging Rogue Storm, like you mentioned, TJ.
My man, I was muted yet again.
Always muted. Always muted. But I'll do it for this issue of the Comic Corner. As always, everyone, thank you so much for watching. We talked about a lot today. We talked comics. We talked comic book movies. We talked some news. We talked all that. Good stuff. Good stuff. Don't forget, go support your local comic shop. Go to comicshoplocator.com to find the nearest comic shop near you. That is the heartbeat of everything going on in the industry. And if you don't have a comic shop near you, there are other great ways to support comics. You can go to your local library, which is totally free, and go pick up some comics there if they offer it, or on Hoopla if they offer a digital service. You can go to your subscription apps like a DC Infinite, where you're only like a month behind, which is wild if you have like the Ultra plan, or if you don't want, or the funding is hard. So they also have cheaper options, which is what I have, where you're only like 3 months behind, which isn't so bad. Marvel offers it too. There's a bunch of different ways to go support the comic industry. We'll try to find a time to see you next week. My schedule's crazy. AF is away. TJ's schedule.
I'll be around.
You'll
So.
be around. We'll try to figure it out. But we'll be back at some point. Stay in touch. Keep safe. Be well. We will see you next time.